I've done a lot of crazy things for this channel, but this might be the hardest yet. I'm going vegan for an entire month. That means no meat, no cheese, no eggs, just plants. This time, I'm not only testing my willpower, but I'm testing how a plant-based diet will affect my energy, training, sleep, and mood. Will I feel superhuman or just super hungry? Then I'm going vegan. Okay. I think on this plate, maybe I could eat the bread. Definitely not the butter, not the eggs. But this I could eat. I'm gonna eat a lot of vegetables. Some of the best climbers in the world are vegan, actually. So it is possible. I think the one thing I'm gonna miss the most is a steak, like a good steak.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Lenz. I'm a lifestyle medicine physician, and I help people transform their health through evidence-based strategies. This includes a whole food plant-based diet. So I just came across this video from Magnus Midtbo, an elite climber and athlete. First off, I love the curiosity, and let's be real. Going fully plant-based can feel like a big shift at first, especially if you've been relying on animal products for most of your life. But here's the thing. If you're doing a whole food plant-based diet, not just technically vegan, you're fueling your body with nutrient-dense, anti-inflammatory foods that support recovery, endurance, mental clarity, and yes, even sleep. The key difference? A whole food plant-based diet isn't about restriction, it's about optimization. It's not just cutting out meat or cheese, it's replacing them with real, whole foods. Legumes, whole grains, leafy greens, fruits, nuts, seeds, all loaded with the fiber, antioxidants, and micronutrients your body thrives on. Now about the hunger. A lot of people feel hungry on a vegan diet because they're not eating enough calories or they're relying on ultra-processed vegan junk food. But whole plant foods, they're incredibly satiating, especially when you focus on volume and variety. And the superhuman part, well, I don't tell people they're going to become superhuman, but we do see athletes recovering faster, people sleeping deeper, energy becoming more consistent, and mood swings leveling out, all because they're nourishing their body at the cellular level. So Magnus, props for doing this. I'll be watching your journey closely. And to anyone else thinking about going plant-based, it's not a test of willpower, it's a powerful tool for living healthier, with less pain, fewer chronic health issues like diabetes, heart disease, and autoimmune conditions.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out and do some shopping though. I need supplements and I need a shitload of vegan food. Fruits and vegetables should be safe to eat. Normally I go to the meat section and also where they have sweets. Bread, I'm not sure. Can I eat bread? So this is tofu. I also have like vegan sausages and all that stuff. The thing is though, with what I bought so far, it's gonna be really hard to make like a proper meal.
Magnus, you're absolutely right. Some of the best climbers are vegan. Plant-based athletes are proving every day that you can build strength, endurance, and recover faster, all without the steak. And hey, missing the steak, totally normal at first, but over time your taste buds do change, and what you'll gain in long-term health, energy, and performance might just be worth the trade. It's not about deprivation, it's about transformation.
So pretty expensive to be a vegan. There's still a lot of things I need. So this is more like a health shop, a little bit alternative. I think they have most of the things I need. So the total came at 1,762 kroners. When I do this now, I want to do it the right way. You know, I want to get all the supplements. I want to try to be as healthy as possible while doing this. And that is a little bit expensive, but I think it's worth it.
You've hit on something super important. Planning is key. On a whole food plant-based diet, you need to plan. It's not just about grabbing tofu or vegan sausages. Honestly, I rarely eat those myself, and you don't need them to thrive on this way of eating. What you do need is a plan built around the staples. Whole grains like oats and brown rice, legumes, lentils, beans, chickpeas, loads of fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds for healthy fats. When you plan a few simple meals ahead, like chili, stir fry, or grain bowl, it becomes so much easier to shop with purpose and eat in a way that fuels your training and recovery. About supplements, you don't really need. The only supplement everyone on a plant-based truly needs is B12. Everything else you can get from whole plant foods unless you have a specific medical need. So no, you don't need tofu to thrive. You don't need fake meats. You just need a plan, and the rest falls into place. It also can't hurt to have a dietitian that's informed about how to help athletes who are training at a very high level to get meal plans to support your high calorie needs.
My first ever vegan fedora order. Very excited. Looking at some spring rolls and like a vegan salad with something that looks like chicken. Yeah, that is good. I still wonder if this is gonna satisfy me, because that is the main problem, you know. I think it all tastes good. It's just the feeling I get afterwards is not the same.
Magnus, I love your honesty here. And what you're feeling is actually really common for people just starting a plant-based journey. You said the food tasted good, but you weren't sure if it would satisfy you. And here's why. Those salads and spring rolls are pretty low in calories, especially for someone like you with high energy needs as a climber. A lot of plant-based meals, especially at restaurants, are nutrient-rich but calorie-light, meaning they're filled with vitamins, fiber, and water, but not enough fuel to match what your body's used to. You're burning thousands of calories a day, and if your meal is mostly greens and veggies and a little plant protein, even if it tastes good, you're probably not getting the volume and density your body needs to truly feel full and energized. So what's the fix? Focus on calorie-dense whole plant foods. Add hearty whole grains like brown rice or quinoa. Load up on legumes, which are lentils, beans, and chickpeas. Include healthy fats like avocados, nuts, and seeds. And don't be afraid of potatoes or tofu. And eat enough. Larger portions are normal on this lifestyle. Your stomach may feel fuller without feeling heavy, and that's actually one of the benefits of a whole food plant-based diet. But you still need to meet your calorie needs, especially with your high level of activity. Bottom line, it's not that the plant-based meals can't satisfy, they absolutely can. You just need to adjust the volume, calorie density, and balance to match your energy output. Stick with it, tweak it, and don't be afraid to eat more.
Another thing is the social awkwardness. You know, when I go out and order food, I have to be that guy that asks for something special. I feel like I'm bothering people by asking a lot of questions and asking for the vegan stuff, and I can't go to certain restaurants. And also when I'm at home, I can't even have dinner with my girlfriend anymore. So we eat separate dinners.
I really appreciate you bringing this up, because you're tapping into something so many people struggle with when they're eating plant-based, the social side of it. You're not alone in feeling a little bit awkward for vegan options, or feeling like that guy at a restaurant. And I totally get it. No one wants to feel like they're making things more complicated or being a burden. But here's a helpful reframe. You're not being difficult, you're being intentional. Just like you train with purpose and choose what's best for your body in climbing, you're now choosing what's best for your long-term health. And that sometimes means asking a few extra questions. Most restaurants are used to dietary requests, and many are happy to accommodate if you just ask kindly and confidently. Now, as far as eating separately from your girlfriend, that's tough and it's real, but food doesn't have to divide you. In fact, plant-based meals can be delicious and shared, even if one of you adds different protein sources. It doesn't have to be two completely separate dinners. It can just be one base meal with slight variations. For example, you might have some whole brown rice with some vegetables, and the difference in the protein source is you might be having the beans and your girlfriend might be having chicken or fish. And remember, this transition is temporary. Once you figure out your go-to meals, favorite restaurants, and how to navigate the conversations, it gets easier, it gets way easier. And for many people, it actually brings new connections, not isolation. So yes, the social shift can feel uncomfortable at first, but it's not about perfection. It's about aligning your choices with your goals and finding new rhythms that work for you and the people you care about.
Yeah, that's good. I think a lot of people think that getting enough protein is difficult being on a vegan diet, but that's not really been the case for me. I eat a lot of nuts, peanut butter, beans, peas, like there's so many different things that have a lot of protein in it. So I would say that I'm getting pretty much the same amount of calories and protein as I usually do. So now it's back to not feeling great again. I feel low on energy. And also recently I feel like I'm not eating as healthy anymore. In the beginning, I ate a lot of vegetables and a lot of good stuff, but recently I've been craving like, I don't know, more normal foods. I tend to get like noodles. There's like basically no nutrition in it. Peanut butter jelly sandwich I made a lot of, but it's like all the salads and stuff, I feel so sick of all the salad.
Magnus, I hear you. You're feeling low on energy and craving more familiar foods. Totally normal to feel like this, especially after starting strong with salads and veggies. But here's the thing, noodles aren't the problem. In fact, if you're choosing whole grain noodles, they can be a great source of fiber, iron, and complex carbohydrates. Great fuel for someone as active as you. What really matters is what you're adding to the noodles. Throw in some sauteed veggies, add a tofu or chickpeas. Now you've got a powerful, balanced meal that's way more satisfying and energizing than just plain carbs. So instead of thinking, I'm not eating healthy anymore, think, how can I build on the foods I actually enjoy and make them work for my body and goals? This lifestyle isn't about restriction. It's about building meals that nourish and satisfy. And yes, you can totally do this with noodles.
One thing that I add a lot of coconut oil in pretty much all my food. This has 900 calories per 100 grams. So this is just to kind of maintain my weight and not lose too much weight. I also question how good a diet is where you have to take this many supplements.
I get that you're trying to keep your calories up, but coconut oil really isn't the healthiest way to do it. Same goes for palm oil. They're both extremely high in saturated fat and offer no protein, no fiber, just pure fat. There are much better options to maintain your weight and fuel your training. Nuts and seeds like almonds, walnuts, and flax, nut butters, avocados, legumes, and whole grains, calorie dense and protein rich. And you nailed it with your last point. If a diet requires that many supplements, it's worth questioning. But with a properly planned whole food plant-based diet, the only supplement you truly need is vitamin B12. That's it for most people. So skip the coconut oil, fuel up with real whole plant foods.
Last night I had 99 points. So 9 hours and 31 minutes of sleep, 2 hours and 2 minutes of deep, 2 hours and 23 minutes of REM, and 0 minutes awake. I can't remember last time I had sleep like this. I don't think I've ever had a higher sleep score. To sum it up, the positive effects of being a vegan has been I've slept really well. Like my sleep has gotten better. I also feel like the blood flow, like the blood is flowing better in my body. I used to have eczema. I haven't been bothered with that lately. So those were the positives. And now the negatives are I've lost weight, fat, but also a lot of muscle. Also, it's expensive, like really expensive if you want to do it right with all the supplements and all the vegetables and like the healthy stuff. In the beginning, I ate really healthy, but then gradually I started eating more like processed foods. I know there's a term called fat vegan, and I feel like I can relate a little bit to that.
Magnus, I really appreciate how honest and open you've been throughout this experience. Let's take a step back and sum up what you've discovered. You notice better sleep, improved blood flow, and even relief from eczema. All strong signs your body was responding positively to a more plant-focused diet. And that lines up with what we see in the medical research. A whole food plant-based lifestyle can lead to reduced inflammation, improved immune function, lower blood pressure, better cholesterol and heart health, and even improvements in autoimmune conditions like eczema, rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, and lupus. Now, you mentioned losing not just fat, but muscle, and that's important to clarify. Yes, plant-based athletes need to make sure they're getting enough calories in protein-rich whole foods like lentils, tofu, tempeh, quinoa, nuts, and seeds. But the most important factor for maintaining or building muscle isn't your diet, it's your training. Without consistent resistance training, even someone eating perfectly well will lose muscle over time. And with the right training, you can build muscle on a plant-based diet, just like many elite vegan athletes do. A whole food plant-based diet doesn't have to be expensive. It becomes costly when it's loaded with supplements and highly processed vegan products. But the basics, beans, rice, oats, potatoes, frozen veggies, are some of the cheapest, healthiest foods on the planet. And finally, you mentioned falling into processed food habits. That happens to a lot of people. The goal isn't just to be vegan, it's to focus on whole plant foods that nourish and sustain you. So whether you're climbing mountains or just trying to feel better every day, a whole food plant-based lifestyle is one of the most powerful tools we have for lowering inflammation, improving recovery, and reversing many chronic illnesses. naturally. I'm Dr. Michael Lenz, a lifestyle medicine physician, pediatrician, and internist. And if this video helped shift your perspective, go ahead and subscribe for more plant-based insights on how to live with less pain, more energy, and fewer chronic conditions, one meal at a time. Your health is in your hands, and it starts on your plate.